I grew up in South Florida, as we said, in a big public high school, predominantly white school. And I was very popular. I was not only on the speech and debate team, but also the president of my high school class. And I did all kinds of things in government and whatever, but I was never asked out on a date. I only went to the prom because a friend of mine said, "You have to go since you're planning it. Why aren't you going?"
You were intimidating.
I was intimidated. So I had never had anybody show romantic interest in me. So I get to Harvard. This is my sophomore year and Patrick's junior year because he's a year ahead of me. And we end up in the same class. This is the fall of my sophomore year. We're in a class called The Changing Concept of Race in America. So this is a very interesting historical studies class. And it's one of those that has like stadium seating. So I'm down on the first level and he's on the row behind me. And he would tap on my shoulder and he would talk to me and say, let's throw things over, And I thought he was a little annoying. I was like, what is happening here? But I also kind of thought he was cute. So, I wasn't getting too upset until I noticed that I had this class with him on like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And then on Tuesday and Thursday, I had a government class where I saw him. He's in this class. And I would wave, and he would be like, not paying any attention to me, not responding, not doing any of the things that he did on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I was like, what is going on? I said to my roommates, one of whom is here, I think, as well. I said, this guy is so wishy-washy. They said, leave him alone. He's crazy. You don't want to have anything to do with him. So I said, no, I'm going to confront him on one of the friendly days. So on a friendly day, I said to him, why don't you talk to me in our government class? And he said, I'm not taking a government class. And I said, yes, you are. I see you in the government class. He says, oh, you must be talking about my identical twin brother. Which is true. He has an identical twin brother.
You should do a movie.
That is how so once we got past that, we still, though, didn't date. I mean, we were just friends. The whole school year, we took that class. We took another class. We were, studying together. Over the year, I kind of started to like him, but I figured he probably didn't like me, so I wasn't gonna, I didn't say anything about it. The very last day, can I keep going?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
I'm telling you, this is the part. And this is when I was like, come on. What's he have to do? What did he do?
So the day before the last day of the school year, when I'm packing up my dorm, the finals are over, I'm gonna go home to Miami the next day. He says, do you wanna come to my family's house on the Cape? Now, let me just give you a little background, because this is important. So Patrick is what some of you might be familiar with is called a Boston Brahmin. Do you know this phrase? The phrase Boston Brahmin refers to a sort of group of people who can trace their ancestors back to like the Mayflower. There are people in his family who have been here that long. He is 7th generation Harvard. So, it's like a totally different thing. His parents are from Boston. His family has a summer house on the Cape. And so he says to me, do you want to go and see this house? And I was like, sure, So we're going, he's driving, and I keep looking at him and thinking, are we on a date? I don't know if we're on a date. I had no idea. Are we on a date? But, the whole day is lovely. We're talking, whatever, and I keep hoping that he would show that he liked me. We're together, we're alone. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. And I'm furious by the end of the day. Furious. Because I'm like so disappointed, So at the end of the day, he says, well, let's go by my parents' house in Boston. I'll make dinner, and then I'll take you home. And I'm like, whatever, fine. So we go, and he makes dinner, and, his parents are lovely. I meet them. After dinner, he says, I've rented a movie, so why don't we watch the movie, and then I'll take you home. And I'm like, all right, what am I going to do? I can't go anywhere. So we sit on the couch in the den, and he puts the movie in. And then he goes,
Smooth move.
But I was so convinced by that time that he didn't like me that I jumped up and said no. I did. And he said, what's wrong? And I said, I just don't want to be hurt. And then he stood up and he took my hands and he said, Ketanji, I will never hurt you. I love you. That's very true.
And I was like, where's the brother?
And we dated from that point on for 7 years, and then we have been married for 28 years.
Yay!